Hi everyone, I'm going to kick this channel off with a review of a book I finished actually some months back called Gods and Robots by Adrienne Mayor. This is the cover, ta-da. Basically, the premise of the book is that it's an exploration of what ancient man thought about artificial life. So the first thing that I liked about this book was just the premise on its face was very fascinating. I'm a sucker for all things technological, and I also like history, so this seemed like a very interesting and fascinating marriage of the two subjects. Another thing that I really liked about the book was that the author included some wonderful color pictures of all of the artwork that informed her ideas. Most of her research was based on depictions in murals, paintings, frescoes, urns, that sort of a thing. So to see the myths and the pictures and her analysis all together at the same time was very good. Now, the premise and the artwork are really the only two aspects of the book that I enjoyed. Unfortunately, there are more bad things about the book than there were good. So, first thing that I did not like about the book was the style. So this read like somebody's PhD thesis, where basically the end of every paragraph was a footnote or a reference to something in the back of the book. It was very dry academic prose. It really bogged down the reading and made it less enjoyable. Second thing that I didn't like about the book was it basically almost exclusively focused on the Western world. There were some passing references to stories in ancient China and the Middle East, but for the most part, the book basically exclusively focused on the Hellenistic world, what the ancient Greeks thought of artificial life. I thought it would have been a more solid read if she'd expanded beyond Western antiquity, but alas, she didn't do that. And then finally, the last thing that I didn't like about the book was she kind of neglected the actual technology that all of these people developed. So there was one fleeting chapter devoted to the actual mechanical devices created in antiquity, and it was kind of just an afterthought. For the most part, the book exclusively focused on her interpretation of how things appeared in art and literature. So essentially, she skipped over the most fascinating part, which was how those people put theory into practice. So overall, if I had to give this book some kind of a score, I'd probably give it a C-. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever read, but it could have been a lot stronger. And maybe that's coloring my review or my scoring a little bit, is that I wanted this book to be so much more than it was, and it got pretty close sometimes, but just couldn't quite rise to the occasion. All right, well, I think that is the end of this first book review. Thank you for following along, and I will see you guys next time.